Hello everyone, this is Vijayasri, working as an assistant professor in the department of CSIT, MLR Institute of Technology. In this session, we are going to learn about arrays in C, that is two-dimensional array. Overview of the session: what is an array, why we need arrays in C, 2D array and its example. In the last session, we have discussed about what is an array. What is an array? An array is a homogeneous data type, means it can store multiple values of same type. Why we need array? This is also we have seen in the last session why we need array. Let us suppose if I want to store roll numbers of 60 students. Is it possible with a normal variable? If we are using a normal variable to store only a 5 roll numbers of a student, then we need to declare int A, B, C, D and E. That means we have to declare a separate variables for all the 5 students. To overcome this, we are using array. In this, we can store roll numbers of 5 students under a single name of same type. So that's why we need an array. Then how to declare an array? How to declare an array? That is data type, array name. Let us suppose array name is roll number, size of the array. Size of the array is 20, suppose. So this statement tells that it can store 20 student roll numbers of same type. How it stores? This is a 1D array. That means we have only one subscript. So it is a 1D array. 1D array can store the elements in a linear form, in a row form. If I want to store roll numbers of 20 students of 5 subjects. I want to store 5 subject marks of 20 students. Is it possible with 1D array? That's not possible. So that we are using two-dimensional array. If suppose I want to store roll numbers of 20 students of 5 subjects, 5 subject marks. What is 2D array? An array of arrays is called multidimensional array. In simple words, an array created with more than one dimension is called multidimensional array. Multidimensional array can be of 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions or 4 dimensions or more. Most popular and commonly used multidimensional array is 2D array. 2D array used to store data in the form of a table. Data in the form of a table means rows and columns. This is a tabular form. So if I want to store the data in this form, then we are using a 2D array. We also use 2D array to create mathematical matrices. It is one of the application of 2D array. So if I want to store data in the form of a table, then we use two-dimensional array. Then how to declare a two-dimensional array? How to declare a 1D array? Already we know that to declare a 1D array, data type, array name. Let us suppose array name is A and size of the array. Here array name, size of the array. This is 1D array because we have only one subscript. So if I want to declare a 2D array, that means I want a rows and a columns. Then 2D array is represented with 2 subscripts. So data type, array name. First subscript always represented with a row size and second one is column size. So we use a general syntax for declaring two-dimensional array, that is data type, array name, row size, column size. Then example, let us suppose here we have an example int matrix underscore a 2 comma 3, where 2 is the row size, 3 is the column size. That means it has 2 rows and 3 columns. So we'll go with the same example. Let us suppose array name is A and array data type is integer. So I want 2 rows and 3 columns. 2 rows and 3 columns. So these are the rows, columns. So this is the 0th row. As we discussed already in 1D array, always the array index starts with 0. 0th row, first row, 0, 1, 2, 3 columns. So this is represented with I and this is represented, this index is represented with j. So in 2D array, we have to use a 2 loops, that is in a nested form, to represent I as a row and j as a column. Suppose if I have a data like this, consider if I have a data like this, 2 rows and 3 columns, that means in total there are how many elements? In total we can store 2 into 3, that is 6 elements. 6 elements, each is of integer, so each occupies 2 bytes of memory. Here I am initializing int a, 2 rows, 3 columns, initializing 1, 2, we'll go with 2 rows and 2 columns. That means in total there are 4 elements, 3, 4. So if I declare this 2D array, it represents, it is having a 2 rows and 2 columns. So 2 rows and 2 columns. So this is 0th row, first row, 0th column and first column. So it is, the index of this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So here we are storing 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this way we can store the elements in tabular form using 2D array. Initialization of 2-dimensional array. How can we initialize it? As we discussed in 1D array, there are 2 types of initializations. One is compile time initialization and another one is runtime initialization. So we use a general syntax for declaring and initializing 2-dimensional array with a specific number of rows and columns with initial values. Let us suppose I declared array name A, which is of type integer. It can take 2 rows and 2 columns. So in compile time, with a specific number of rows and columns with initial values. So here I specified this 2D array contains 2 rows and 2 columns with initial values. So it can take 4 values, 1, 2, 3, 4. This comes under compile time initialization. For runtime initialization, we use the scanf statements to read the input which is provided by the user. Inputs are provided by the user. So here we have 2 rows and 3 columns, for example. So if we visualize this, 2 rows, that is 0 and 1, 3 columns, 0, 1, 2. Always the index starts with 0. This is represented with j, this is represented with I. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. In this way, we can initialize the values at compile time. The above declaration of 2-dimensional array reserves 6 continuous memory locations of 2 bytes in the form of 2 rows and 3 columns. As we discussed, 2 into 3, 2 into 3. 2 rows, 3 columns, in total 6 elements. Each element can take 2 bytes of memory. So we'll go with the example of a 2D array. So here I declared array 2D array. 2D array, how we have to declare a 2D array? Data type, array name, so row and a column. If it is a 2D, we have two subscripts. If it is a 2D array is represented with two subscripts, that is, one is with row size and another is with column size. For example, int a 50 50. Here we have a declaration of 2D array. So array name is a. It can take 50 and 50, where 50 rows and 50 columns. The size of the row is 50 and column size is 50. And one more, two variables here I consider I and j to represent rows and columns, and r comma c. That means I don't want to give 50 elements. We can take up to 50. So enter number of rows and columns. Here the rows are 2 and columns are 2. So r value is 2 and c value is 2. For I equal to 0, I less than r, where I is 0, 0 less than r is 2. Condition is true. If this condition is true, the control enters into the inner loop. This is the inner loop and this is the outer loop. Inner loop and this is outer loop. Control comes out of the inner loop when the condition is false. So j equal to 0, j less than c. J is also initialized with 0. 0 less than columns are 2. Here c value is 2. So condition true. So the control enters into the printf statement. So enter %d I comma j, where I is 0, j is 0. In a of 0 0, let us suppose the value is 1. So if we consider this is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 and 1. Now, so here I enter the element as 1. Enter a of 0 0. 0 0 is this one. This is 0 0. The index of this is 0 0. This is 0 1, 1 0, 1 1. So here scan, that means whatever the input provided by the user, we are reading that using a predefined function called scanf, and we are storing it a of 0 0. This is a array 0 0, it is 1. Still we are true in a inner loop. So again j plus plus, j value gets modified to 1, 1 less than 2, condition is true, then enter. Let us suppose the next value is 2. A of ij, where I is 0, j is updated and j value is 1. So the next value is 2. 2 we have to read and store at which location? That is a of 0. I is 0, j is 1. In a of 0 1, the next value is 2 is stored in the memory. Then j plus plus, now j becomes 2, is 2 less than 2, condition false. The inner loop condition is false. So the control comes out of the inner loop and enters into the outer. In outer, I plus plus, I gets incremented and updated the value as 1. 1 less than 2, condition is true. When I value is 1, again j starts with 0. 0 less than c, c is 2, condition is true. Then the control enters into the body of the loop, that is printf, enter a of %d comma I comma j, where I value is now 1, j value is 0. In a of ij, that is 1 0. In a of 1 0, the next value, let us suppose it is 3. In a of 1 0, here we have array a and index is 1 0. There we have to store the value as 3. Then j plus plus, now j becomes 1. J value gets updated and j value is 1. 1 less than 2, condition is true. Then enter a of ij, where I is 1, j is also 1. So the next value is 4, that will read and stored in the location a of ij, that is a of I is 1, j is 1. A of ij. 1 1. So here it stores 4. Again j plus plus, now j becomes 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. So the control comes out of inner loop and enters into outer. Again I gets incremented and I value gets updated as 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. So the control comes out of the outer loop. In a sequence, again we have a for loop. Whatever the values we have stored in this, I want to print the same values as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So again I equal to 0, I less than r, where r value is 2 and c value is 2. I value is 0, 0 less than r is 2, condition true. So the control enters into inner loop. J equal to 0, j value is 0, 0 less than columns are 2, 0 less than 2, condition is true, then print. At which location value we want to print? A of ij, where I is 0, j is 0. In a of 0, 0, we have the value 1. 1 gets printed. Again, j plus plus, j value gets updated to 1. 1 less than 2, condition true. Then printf percentage %t, a of ij, where I is 0, j is 1. In a of 0, 1, we have value 2. It will get printed. Again j plus plus, now j becomes 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. So the control comes out of the inner loop and enters into the outer. I plus plus, I value gets incremented and updated as 1, 1 less than 2, condition true. When I is 1, again condition true, so the control enters into inner loop. When I is 1, again j value starts with 0, 0 less than c is 2. Here already we have given c value as 2. 0 less than 2, condition is true. Then percentage %d, because the array data type is integer, so we are using format specifier as percentage %d. Percentage %d, a of I, where I value is 1, j is 0. I want to print the value which is at location, at the index a of 10. In a of 10, we have 3. So it will get printed. Again j plus plus, now j becomes 1, 1 less than 2, condition is true. Then printf a of ij, where I is 1, j is 1. So in a of 1, 1, array a, at the index 1, 1, we have the value 4 that we are going to print on the console. Again j plus plus, now j becomes 2, 2 less than 2, inner loop, condition false. So the control comes out of the inner loop and enters into outer. I plus plus, I value gets incremented and updated to 2, 2 less than 2, condition false. So the control comes out of the outer loop, return 0 and exit. So here we have read the values in 2D array and we have printed. Multidimensional array. An array of arrays is called multidimensional array. A multidimensional array can have 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, etc. A multidimensional array which has 2 dimensions is called 2-dimensional array. Just now we discussed about 2-dimensional array. We have 2 subscripts. One is the row and another is the column size. 2-dimensional array. 2-dimensional array can be represented as a table with rows and columns. This 2-dimensional array has 3 rows and 4 columns. So here you can see these are the rows, 3 rows and 4 columns, but it is a character array, character data type. How can we write a character data type? If we go with a 1D array, 1D array syntax is data type, array name, size. So here the data type is character, array name is A, size let us suppose 3. So that means this array can take 3 values of character type. So characters are always enclosed in a single quotations. This way we can represent a character array. See allows arrays of multiple dimensions. So what is the general syntax of a multiple dimensional array? Multi-dimensional array, data type, array name, and here we can have more than 2 dimensions. So for example, int a of 10, 3, 2. Int a of, consider the same example, 3, 2. This tells it can store 10 arrays of 3 rows and 2 columns. Here we have our presentation. It is having a 10 arrays of 3 rows and 2 columns. So up to 10. This is the first, second, so on, 10. So in a multidimensional array, this represents 10 arrays of 3 rows, 2 columns. So this is a pictorial representation of a multidimensional array. This is the 0th 2D array, first, second. Here we have first dimension, second dimension rows, and the third dimension columns. So in this session, we have discussed about 2-dimensional array, how to declare and how to initialize at compile time, and we have discussed one example. Then what is a multidimensional array? In the next session, we will see what is a functions. Thank you.